This is Vanguard Rome's How to Play Shifting the Battle Line. To keep things simple, I've laid out the battle line with the cards face down, since this is just a demonstration of the principles of shifting your battle line. To begin, I'm going to go over the rules for the front battle line. The first rule is that before your battle line is considered in a legal position, you must always fill the Vanguard position. So, for example, if this card had been killed, then on my turn I must either play a new card into this position or fill that gap with existing cards by shifting them into that position. The next rule is that whenever shifting cards, they must always move towards the Vanguard. So in that last example, again, if this card has been killed, these cards can easily shift towards the Vanguard. However, if this card has been killed, I cannot shift these cards out of the Vanguard. You must always shift towards the Vanguard. I like to think of it as the units are always funneling into the battle. The next rule of shifting the front battle line is that cards must always shift together. So in that same example, if this card has been killed, I must shift these cards together if they're touching. So I cannot shift just the one card. These guys are locked in combat together, and I must shift them together. That applies regardless of how many units extend out on the sides. If there's a gap in between them, then that gap is a natural break. But if they are touching, they must shift together. The last rule of the front battle line is that, similar to the Vanguard position, all gaps must be filled. So, for example, if this card has been killed, I cannot leave that gap there. I must fill it with a new card or shift a card in. Now on to the rules for the rear battle line. The rear battle line is slightly different. The rear battle line still has the same basic principles, that cards must shift together and that they must only shift towards the Vanguard position, like this. But there's a number of differences. You are allowed to leave gaps, and you're also allowed to shift cards as a singular card forward, like that. So I'll show that again. So in the previous example, if this card had been killed, I have another option. Aside from simply bringing this card in or playing this new card in that position, I could also choose to bring this rear card up into the front battle line. The last rule of the rear battle line is that you can never leave a rear battle line unit unguarded. So in that same example, say this card has been killed. Even though that does not appear to be a gap in the battle line, this card cannot be unguarded. It's required either to have another card placed in front of it or to have it slid forward.